What up, everyone? Back for another video. So this time around, we're going to be talking about monthly subscription boxes. So we've mostly done away with that on my channel, not because I don't like them, but because there just are so few left over now. But I still want to talk about them from time to time, and I still want to have them featured on the channel. So I'll still keep it to this monthly Ultimate Unboxing Review, and we'll go through the boxes of the month and just check in, see what the companies are doing, see what they've done the past month or two, and do a real quick touch on each company and things like that. We'll keep it real short and sweet because I think we only have 4 different companies here. So it'll be very short and sweet, and maybe in the future we'll see some more. Wolf has finally laid down. He's not quite asleep yet, so he may be a nuisance, just a heads up. But we shall see. You never know with puppies. So let's just jump right into it. The first box we got, Marvel Collector Core. We only have one. We have 2 months worth of boxes here because I think it's been 2 months since I did the last monthly review. So this one's only one because this is a bi-monthly box. What are you doing? Stop. This is a bi-monthly box, so we only have one of these. And we have the Luchadora version of Marvel Collector Cores. And one word to describe this box. This box was by far the worst Marvel Collector Core box we've ever gotten. Because it was just so random. And you know, let me start off by saying, nothing against luchadors, nothing against wrestling in any way. I have nothing against them. I just don't necessarily want them on my Marvel characters. Those are 2 things that I like to be separate, and let's keep it that way, because there's just no reason for the crossover. It's just, this is upside down. It's just very weird and was just super random. It made no sense at all. Like I've said before with the other Marvel Collector Core boxes, there are so many themes they could do, and they always pick random ones, and there are so many characters. They literally have thousands of characters. And then they made luchador versions of the Marvel characters. And it's like, why? What reason was there for this? I kind of demand an explanation from the company why. They have so much content that they haven't even gotten to. There's pops that they haven't even made. Certain characters they've never made pop figures of to this day. And they're already doing these awkward, weird crossovers. It just was completely uncalled for, and it made no sense. And I know they've done the Marvel Zombies one they did recently, but that was a comic series. That was a legit comic series. It wasn't just like a random event of them making Marvel characters into zombies. That was a full comic series, a very popular one. And as far as I know, there is no wrestling comic run for Marvel. There could be one obscure one, but I just can't imagine there being a big want or need for that. Now, I know there are a lot of wrestling fans out there. I know people that watch my channel are wrestling fans. Once again, nothing against that. That's totally cool. And if there's a wrestling box, I'm more than happy to check that out. But I don't want my Marvel box to be a wrestling box. There are just certain things that I like both things. They just don't need to be together. They don't need to be crossed together. Sometimes it's better for things to be kept separate. And this is a perfect example. This is the first time ever that we've gotten 3 pop figures in a box, and it's of course the one that is just the worst example of them ever. They're all pretty worthless. The Venom one goes for a decent amount, goes for like $30, which is a little above average, and the rest go for like 10 and 12, which is barely market value. So that just goes to show that it wasn't really wanted or needed, and it was just very, very random. So by far the worst Marvel Collector box I've seen to date, and I hope they never do anything like this again. I'm fine with pretty much anything they put in here as long as it's canon, as long as it's part of some series of some run or some movie or something like that. It just needs to be relevant. I don't want a character in there with just a random costume on. I want it to be from something so it's relevant, because anyone could just make their own that just has goofy, weird colors and styles, but yeah, I'm not going to go complaining about this one. This is probably the only Marvel Collector Core that I genuinely disliked, like nothing in there, not keeping anything in there, and I think that's the first time it's happened. Hopefully the last, but you know, we shall see. Alright. Next. Loot Crate. One that has not been doing great lately. They've done a lot of crap boxes in recent time, you know, and it's very hit and miss with this company. I'm still holding out, though, because if you didn't watch my news video, Loot Crate does these special limited boxes that aren't like a monthly thing. They do a very limited run where it's usually one or a small series of them where you pay in advance and you kind of know what's coming in there. And I talked about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one. They're doing a second series of that, which looks great. And I keep holding out hope for this box because NECA bought the company, and I keep hoping that they're going to really put some effort in. And it seems that NECA is putting effort into these limited edition boxes, but doesn't seem to be putting anything into the normal Loot Crate boxes. And I'm not really sure why. They bought that company, I think, over a year ago at this point, and I haven't seen a single NECA item in this regular box. And that could be for a multitude of reasons. It could be that NECA's products are just like too high quality to put in this $20, $30 box, or it could be that they're just like burning off product that Loot Crate purchased from over a year ago that's still in circulation, so it might be that they're burning it off. So I keep holding out hope that this box is really going to jump up in quality, but I'm starting to lose hope for that because I don't think they're going to put any effort into it. I think they're going to put all their money into those limited crates. The limited crates look great, by the way. I'll absolutely do a review of those as well. But in the meantime, we're stuck with this monthly box. They keep raising the price of this, and the quality keeps going down. So we have two boxes here, one from January and one from February. We are well into March at this point, but we're just now getting February's boxes. As per usual, they're always like a month behind. But this one, nothing really extravagant to say about it. We got the Venom carded figure, I say. The one I complained about in the last video, they had the Spider-Man one. At least I have a matching pair now, so I guess that's kind of cool. But it was, once again, if you want to go back and watch my complaints about the Spider-Man one, very odd choice that they did a replica of a carded figure, but did it all plastic and then like cut it in half, so it's just like a weird 3D display thing. Very awkward choices, but, you know, I do like Venom. He's a cool character. And at least, even though they're weird and awkward, at least I have a pair that I can sit next to each other. So, not horrible, but not great. And then we got a Mortal Kombat Handkerchief, as they call it. So, that's fine. You can use those as masks. That's literally the first mask I made when the quarantine first started was from a Loot Crate box. It was some goofy handkerchief that I had no use for, and I folded it and made it into a mask. So you can use that for that purpose, so I guess that's kind of cool. The quality's not really great. It's kind of scratchy, so I don't know if you would, but at least that has some purpose to it. The pin, nothing is special to talk about. I did like the keychain. I like they put a Fight Club keychain in there. It wasn't super high in quality, but that was cool. I liked it. And then we got a Masters of the Universe t-shirt, and in the picture you're seeing it looks like it's gray, but it's not. It's actually green, which again, the same complaint I have about the company. They pick the most awkward colors for their shirts. At least it's not crazy, bright, vibrant. So that's the one thing I say. I'm not a big fan of the multicolored shirts, but, you know, if you are going to do the big colors, at least do, like, soft versions of it. And it seems like they took my advice because this is an example of it. It's technically green, but it's a very muted green. It's a very soft, grayish green. So I see that they're going for different colors, but at least it's a somewhat neutral color so it doesn't look that bright, shocking green like the Ninja Turtles one where it's just, like, blinding. So at least they're going with some more subtle colors, so at least there's that. And then going on to February. This one I wasn't so pleased about. It was some very weird choices. It seemed like it was kind of geared towards women, but there was just nothing. It just seemed very geared towards women. Not a bad thing, but this is supposed to be for both genders. This is a bad example because they have that purple shirt in there, and again, this is more of a bright, vibrant purple, and it's just like, I can't imagine that being for both sexes. That seems like it's too bright to be for men and women. They should have picked, like they did with the green shirt, like a more neutral, softer lavender tone. But this one they went with the bright purple. And then they have a Harley Quinn hat. I like the design on it, but not a big fan of when they do things like hats. For me personally, I can't wear hats. Like caps, I can't wear them because my head does not fit any of the standard sizes. This cap right here, I can put it to the absolute maximum size. It literally won't go around my head. That's just me personally. It's just something I wanted to mention. I would wear hats, but I can't because my head does not fit even the biggest sizes they make, which is kind of a bummer. But even still, it seems like a very select market wears things like caps. And there's so many times where they put items like that in there, like scarves. It's such a limited market of people that can even wear scarves. I'm out in Southern California. Nobody here wears scarves. You don't see a scarf out here anywhere. Some places that are colder do wear them, but again, it's a very niche market. And in that same sense, they always put t-shirts. I've never once seen a tank top in any of them. I would wear a tank top. I wear tank tops all the time, but they would never put it in there because it's a limited market. Only certain people, certain parts of the country could wear tank tops, but they do put in things that are for the colder weather, which doesn't make any sense. If they can put things like scarves and beanies in there, why couldn't they put a tank top? So I'd love to see a tank top sometime, but we never will. And other items in here, shot glass from 16 Candles, which is weird because we got a regular glass from 16 Candles in a previous box. That seems odd that they would double up on it. Pin, nothing special to talk about. Then we got a little paddle, a flight paddle is what they call it, from Shaun of the Dead, which seems very out of place in this box. It seems very like female-oriented, and then a random paddle for Shaun of the Dead. And the reason this is so odd is because it's a flight paddle, but you have to have specific, very specific size glasses to fit that flight paddle. And most people say, well, it's for shot glasses. Actually, it does not fit shot glasses. If you turn the shot glass upside down, it would fit, but that defeats the purpose. These flight paddles are for very specifically sized glasses, of which we don't have. They didn't include that in there, so we pretty much just have a paddle with nothing to put in there. Unless you want it, you could put shot glasses in there, but it wouldn't hold them steady, so it would be very loose, and you might as well just put them on a regular piece of wood at that point. So it's kind of odd. I guess it would make a decent display item if you wanted to put it on the wall, but very odd choice considering it doesn't come with any sort of glasses. So this is where I say it's hit and miss, because the January box was just okay, and the February box was kind of not great at all. Very specific markets. Not a big fan. Overall, I kind of give this company a 5 out of 10 because it just barely skates by. It's just okay at its best. Nothing spectacular ever. But like I said, I keep holding out hope that NECA is going to get off their asses and actually put some effort into these monthly boxes. If not, I keep saying I'm going to cancel. I've been saying it for a year. Honestly, I kind of keep forgetting. But this will kind of go away because I will stick to the more exclusive boxes, those specialized ones. Those ones look pretty cool, so I might just switch over to that. Not do monthly and do an occasional specialized box. So, we'll see. Alright, next, what we got here is Geek Fuel. Now, this box has actually been doing better. I've been somewhat impressed by them. I'm trying to figure out which one was January and which one was February. I'm pretty sure this was January. Doesn't say. I'll figure it out. So they have been doing a lot better. So quick history. Geek Fuel was on a monthly subscription basis years ago. Then they switched to a quarterly system, which gave you a bigger box, a lot more stuff, higher price. Now they went back to the monthly, which normally I would never recommend, and I wasn't sure was the right move for them, but it seems like it has been. I'm very impressed with a lot of the things they've been putting in Geek Fuel. Less than their quarterly box, but you know, basically the good thing I could say about them is it seems like their things are more curated, where they're not just putting shit in there, even though if it's exclusive, fine, but they're just putting random exclusive shit like Loot Crate. They actually seem like they're putting things that are somewhat enjoyable. And you know, it's not a perfect system. I'm not blown away by stuff, but I see where the effort is coming from, and I do appreciate it. So we'll talk about this first one. I'm losing track of if it's January or February, but either way, we got one that was more of a gaming theme, and the t-shirt in here was actually pretty cool. I very rarely ever keep t-shirts from boxes because they mostly suck. They're mostly very crappy. The designs suck. And even if the designs are good, the quality is so shitty that I can't wear it. It's just like itches and like rubs my nips, and it's like, oh, I can't do it. So I'm a big fan of like high quality shirts. I spend the extra money to get quality shirts that are comfortable and with good designs. And this one was actually pretty cool. They have some traditional PlayStation characters on there, and they did the square, triangle, X, circle pattern, and they did the colors with the different characters. We got Spyro, we got Crash, Cloud, and Snake, and it was just very well designed. It wasn't like mind-blowing or anything, but it just shows that whoever designed this was a fan of PlayStation. They actually knew what they were doing when they designed this and really put some thought into it. And I actually tried on the shirt and felt it up a little bit. That sounds weird to say. I felt it. It is actually very good quality. The fabric on there is soft to the touch, and the t-shirt is somewhat fitted. It seems like they're doing better or just good in general on the quality of the shirts, which I appreciate. Because even if you see the coolest shirt in the world in a box, If it doesn't fit right or it's itchy and you can't wear it, then who cares? Who cares if it has the coolest design if you can't wear it? So I appreciated that they did a good design, and I appreciate that they did a high quality shirt on top of that. So kudos to them on that. Then we got a pillow. We got a Hadouken pillow, and it was like vacuum sealed so it fit in there. Good idea. Appreciate that. And you know, nothing special about that. It was just a cool pillow. A lot of companies have put pillowcases in there, which is fine if you have the right size pillow. But this one was actually cool because it had some cool shape to it. So I like that. And then we got some coasters, you know, nothing great. Coasters are a very common item to get in boxes, but at least they kept it somewhat interesting and in theme, that PlayStation theme, where they did the 4 shapes from the controller, so there's some creativity there. And the last item was just some stickers, which this I'll say is kind of sucks. This is a total cop-out. This is to console game skin, as they call it, to put on the side of your console, and they call it a console game skin. It's like, it's a fucking sticker. Like, let's not bullshit here. It's a sticker. If you want to call it a sticker, call it a sticker. But don't tell us it's a console game skin. It's not. I've seen console game skins where you click them on or change the shell or something like that. I've seen those. This is a fucking sticker. Call it a sticker. And say you can put it on your console, but I can't imagine anyone doing that. These consoles are not cheap. They cost a couple $100 at best, and I'm not sure if anyone really wants to put stickers on them. There's some nice design quality that goes into PlayStations and Xboxes. They look very nice, and I don't think I would want to put cheap stickers on there. And even if I did, I probably wouldn't put these cheap stickers on there. So that's the one thing I wasn't really thrilled about. But again, no big deal, because most of the other things were pretty great. On to the next box, which I think is February, but I'm not actually sure. Alright, our little fold out here. So what we got here, a t-shirt. Again, designed really well. They did this like Godzilla theme, but did it in like an American traditional tattoo style. Like, fuck yeah, I'm all about that. Like, you know me, I'm all about the traditional tattoos. I like that. And I like Godzilla. And they did the design in the back and the logo, small logo on the front. Very well designed. This is a legit cool t-shirt. If I saw this in stores, I'd pay top dollar for it because it's legitimately cool. And I can wear it because the quality of the t-shirt is nice. So, again, Geek Fuel, good job on the shirts. 2 months in a row. Great shirts. I like that. Good job. And then we got a prop replica. This I thoroughly enjoyed. I think this is great. Jurassic Park is one of my all-time favorite movies, and this scene is really funny too. It's very quotable. I quote that scene with my friends all the time. And it's the shaving cream storage can from Jurassic Park that was given to Nedry, where he put all the dinosaur DNA inside it. And you know, it's not an exact replica, but it looks like a shaving cream can, and you can open it up and you can put stuff in there. So I think that's very clever, and the package it came in was really cool looking too. So that was very well done. I like that. Obviously, it's not a real shaving cream can. They're not going to go to that much effort, but it was cool and it was appreciated. And it's something you can store stuff in. You can put your drugs in there. If your house ever gets raided, you have that shaving cream can. You can put all your weed and all your coke in there if you want to. Perfect stash place to hide all your drugs. So that's what I would recommend. Hide your drugs or your cash. Cash and drugs. Good place to put this because people will literally not suspect it because it legit looks like a shaving cream can. Not to say that I promote drug use or drinking or anything like that, but that's what I would put in there. Anyway, the last item was a reaction figure, Planet of the Apes. This Super 7 company is something to keep an eye on, by the way. Used to be owned by Funko, or partnered with Funko, broke off to do their own thing. The original reaction figures are absolute crap. These ones are kind of crappy too. But that Super 7 company is progressively getting better and better. I've been keeping my eye on them over the months, and their stuff is getting pretty cool, I will admit. The prices are going up, but it's getting much, much better. This seems like some of the older figures, so not a fan of those classic reaction figures. I get what they're going for, that 70s style action figures. Not a big fan of that, so not my favorite choice here. And again, Planet of the Apes, not my most favorite franchise. But Super 7 is doing some good products, so keep your eye on them because I do feel like they're going to be very significant in the very near future. And I do feel like some of the items they've made are going to go up in price pretty significantly. That's my advice. Keep your eye on Super 7. Back to this figure, not a big fan of that, so it seems like, again, Geek Fuel, like I said, not perfect. Not everything in there is absolutely wonderful and I love it, but it's usually just one thing that I dislike, and the rest of the box is pretty cool. I think that was all the items in there, right? Was it just 3? Oh, they've been putting in these mystery bags of fun. They have this whole acronym for it. And I actually don't mind that. It's just kind of a filler, honestly. But it's fun stuff, though. They put in some actual, like, retro things, and it's just a fun little grab bag. And it's kind of a surprise inside a surprise. The whole reason I got into subscription boxes to begin with is because I like presents. I like being surprised. I think it's fun. And then you get a surprise within the surprise, and it's really boring stuff, and not boring, but it's really cheap stuff. It's nothing worth anything, but it's very nostalgic, and some of it is actually genuine from like 20 or 30 years ago. So it's just fun to open up and see what's in there. So normally I wouldn't like these random fillers, but I actually kind of like this one. I like what they've done with that there, and I like that they have some authentic items. Back to what I was saying, most of the items I actually do like in here, and the t-shirt quality and designs have been pretty good. So, Geek Fuel, I was kind of against your monthly subscription plan, but you're kind of winning me over, and right now I think this is my favorite box at the time of what we have. I'm very happy with most of the items in here. So I'm excited to see where Geek Fuel goes in the future. When they did the quarterly box at first, it was awesome, and then the quality really dipped significantly and kind of went down. Now they're back up when they went to their monthly, and we'll see if it stays steady or if it kind of nosedives a little bit. But I will say this, it does seem like they're watching my videos. I feel like they are, because most of the things I've said giving them advice, they've done. So I think they're watching, and if you are watching, good job. Keep up the good work. We'll see you soon. All right, what do we got left? I think we just got one. And that is the BAM box. Boop. No. Oh, no. Oh, no. You good? Okay. Again, 2 boxes, January, February. Nothing super special to say about BAM box. Pretty much doing the typical BAM box thing, and it's the same pattern I've said. Celebrity autograph, art print, pin, one other variable item, which is usually a prop replica. Now on their card, they'll say prop/item. So I'm guessing they're not going to do prop replicas every time because it takes a long time to make them. So it's prop/item, aka filler. So January, celebrity autograph, we got Rufio from Hook. And this is the perfect epitome of what you'll see in the BAM box. And this is what I've always said. It's an autograph of someone you recognize. Not a famous actor, not someone where it's like, oh, this person's famous. They were just in a really big movie. But someone you absolutely will recognize. If I mention the name Rufio to anyone that was raised in the 90s, you absolutely know who that is. Everyone knew who that was. It was a huge movie, and he was the coolest character in that movie, especially for us kids. But if I ask that same person, what's the actor's name? We don't fucking know. Like, who knows? I have no idea. Now I know from reading it from the card, but that's exactly my point. No one you would know by name, no one that's a household name, but characters you absolutely would recognize. And I do appreciate that from the BAM box. They do try to pick, they obviously can't get like big, huge name actors, Brad Pitt, Johnny Depp, you're never going to see in here because they just can't do that. But at least they go out of their way to at least pick recognizable characters that brings up some nostalgia. And this is a perfect example. I may not care about this actor specifically, but I actually might keep this one because that was a cool movie and it's just cool conversation piece to have in my house. When people come over and they see that, it's like, oh yeah, that's Rufio from Hook. And then you can talk about Hook. So I like that. That was a pretty good choice. The pins are always good. I'm really never disappointed with the pins' quality. The quality is always nice. They just have some odd choices in there. That's pretty much the only thing I would say, is sometimes they pick some weird random characters or some goofy crossover. No big deal, though. And then the artist alley is always some artist. Really no big names anymore. A lot of them are fan art or some people that have very briefly worked on it. The art has not been great lately, I will say that. The art has kind of dipped down. Not as far as the artists they've picked, but the quality of the art has just been very basic lately. It's not bad, but it's not really great. And then the prop/item, this time we got an item, and it was a comic book. And they try to play it off like it's a big thing. It's like, everyone gets a random comic book. And that's fine, nothing against comic, but let's be real, it is what it is. It's filler. It's a filler comic book. It's something that they didn't have enough items, so here's a comic book. Fine, I'll take it, but let's not pretend it's something it's not. And then they do these artist select cards, and these are all fan art, and these are, I mean, it's not that it's bad that it's in there or anything like that, but I've never once been excited over it. Most of the art is subpar at best. And I appreciate that they're getting the fans involved. I think that's cool, but that's absolutely filler. It's not really worth anything at all. And they always have the option for leveling up that have some other options for pins, which I would have liked, because I would have liked Grimlock for my pin. He was my favorite Transformer, but wasn't that lucky. I would have liked it, though. Next, on to February, we got an autograph on a floppy disk from the movie Hackers. And I've actually never seen that movie. I've heard it's great. I'm sure it's a good movie, but did not recognize the character. So, again, I'm sure people that did watch that movie, I'm not sure if it was super popular, by the way, but here's where we're getting a little too obscure. Like, I've heard of the movie, I'm sure other people have, but it's a very specific character from that movie, and it didn't even show the person's face, so that's where it's a little too obscure for me. Wouldn't keep that, probably have a hard time selling it. Pin was fine, art was fine, and then we got our prop item, prop replica, which was Dwight's nameplate from The Office, which again, this is what I'll say, it's again hit and miss. Sometimes they've done really great prop replicas that I really liked and enjoyed and kept to this day, but most of the time it's a miss where it's either not a prop replica and it's an item, like a comic, or it is a prop replica and it's something very mundane, like a nameplate, where it's like, okay, so literally the most mundane thing ever that I'm not even sure is an exact replica, because I don't honestly remember Dwight ever having that on his desk, so I could have missed that episode, but I don't remember that specifically from the show, which means it didn't stand out, and it just means it's a very generic prop replica. It's something that's very cheaply made and easy to do, so not something that's really worth mentioning. And then we got our Artist Select card in here, which again, nothing special to go home about, but yeah, whatever. So that's the basic summation of the BAM boxes, and that's pretty much what you'll see, what we have seen, and what you're going to see in the future. No shirts, signature, artist print, pin, item, prop replica, artist alley card. So, you know, again, it's right in the middle there, too. It's kind of a hit-and-miss type of thing. Sometimes they do get really cool people. Like I said, we got Morgan Stark, that little girl's autograph. That's really cool. I'm really excited for that. I'm going to keep that for a long time. This floppy disk, probably not going to keep it. Probably won't even be able to sell it. That might go in the trash. It's sad to say, but, you know, it is what it is. So that's all I can say about the BAM box. You'll probably see the exact same things coming in the future, and it probably won't change much. That being said, there are some boxes you guys have mentioned to me, one of which is from the Zobi company, and apparently that's the company that BAM Box was working exclusively with. They've broke off and done their own thing. I just found out about it. But they look great. They have some really cool stuff that I think I will check out. I checked out their website, and they have a lot of shit, though. So if any of you want to help out and suggest one specifically you want to see, but other than that, I'm just going to kind of have to take a shot in the dark and grab one of their boxes. But it looks very similar to what the BAM box is doing. They specialize in celebrity autographs, but around this like D-list actor, around that market. They do have some more notable names, but those are for specialized boxes, and you have to pay like $100 for them. Like I saw the Nev Campbell one. That looks cool. I would love to get that one and have like a screen pop with her signature. That's really cool. I would love that, but I don't know if I'm going to pay $100 for that. And I think that's just for the signature. I think it's like an additional markup for the pop figure too, so it gets very pricey. And that just kind of shows that the signatures we're going to get in the generic box are going to be very low, because when they do have famous people or somewhat famous people, they charge extra for it. So I have a feeling we'll see around the same market as that. But they have a lot of categories, animation, and stuff like that. So I'll basically just have to pick a random one. So I think we will see that box in the near future, because it was something worth checking out. And if there are any boxes I have not mentioned or heard about or featured on the channel, feel free to mention it in the comments. I'm more than happy to check it out. Because I've stated this many times, this channel was originally all about monthly subscription boxes. It isn't anymore because they've gone the way of the dinosaur, but I still want them to at least be featured. That's where my channel started. That's where everything got started. That's what brings me to where we are today. So I hate to just dismiss them completely, and I realize that most people don't care about it anymore. Most people aren't even going to watch this video because they don't care about it. That's okay. I completely understand that. It's something more for me, something that I'm interested in and want to touch on every now and then. That being said, we will see the specialized Loot Crate boxes and any of those one-off ones. Other than that, these are probably the 4 that are going to stick around, because they're probably the few 4 that are still around. So I'll keep them for at least a while longer, and we'll touch base with them. As far as future videos, we're still going to keep the weekly videos. I have been keeping up with that. I've been doing a good job. The next 2 weeks, the videos will post much later in the week, though. And that's because those are movie premiere weeks. So I'm going to wait. Normally I record on a Tuesday night and post by Wednesday or Thursday. But the movie premieres aren't until Thursday, possibly Friday night. So I will watch the movie, and then do an immediate review after that. And that's how it'll go. So the video will post much later in the week. And the reason for that being, I think it's important to post those reviews as a premiere as soon as the movie comes out. Otherwise, it completely loses relevance. So I will wait a little bit longer to record, because next week, I believe next week is the Snyder Cut, if I'm not mistaken. And then the week after that is Godzilla vs. Kong. So we'll have 2 movie reviews 2 weeks in a row, and then back to the usual biz after that. As always, if there's anything you'd like to see, anything you don't like to see, anything you want to talk about, please feel free to mention it in the comments. I read every single comment, and I answer every single question. Other than that, we'll see you there, and we'll talk about it in the next video. Thank you for watching and supporting. Love you all. Peace.